Lincoln lost. People think success is luck or talent or knowing the right people. Lincoln lost. But let me tell you the truth. Success has nothing to do with chance and everything to do with strategy. There's a blueprint that never fails. Lincoln lost, and it's been used by every self-made success in history. If you're tired of hoping and ready to start winning, listen carefully. Because what I'm about to share with you is the real strategy for success. Lincoln lost. And it will work for you if you work it. Let me tell you something that will change the way you look at success forever. Every great achievement, every towering fortune, every brilliant invention you admire started with one simple thing, a definite purpose. Not a vague wish, not a half-hearted hope, but a clear. Lincoln lost burning intention to achieve something specific. Success does not come to the man who drifts like a leaf in the wind, going wherever life pushes him. Lincoln lost to the man who plants his feet firmly on the ground, points to a destination, and says, "That is where I'm going." Lincoln lost, and nothing will stop me. Think about it for a moment. How can you expect life to reward you if you don't even know what you're asking for? Lincoln lost. The man without a definite purpose is like a ship without a rudder, tossed around by every wave, dependent on luck, and eventually smashed against the rocks. Lincoln lost, but the man with a clear purpose is like a powerful steamer cutting through the storm, guided by a fixed course, unstoppable in its mission. Lincoln lost. When you decide what you want with absolute clarity, you set forces in motion that you can't even fully understand, forces that seem almost magical. Opportunities that were invisible before begin to appear. People who can help you are drawn to you. Ideas you never thought of before suddenly flash into your mind. Lincoln lost, and all it begins with one decision to know exactly what you want. Most people fail because they never make that decision. They want many things but commit to nothing. Lincoln lost. One day they chase money, the next they want freedom, and they want security, then they dream of recognition. They spread their energy thin, never concentrating it on one definite goal. The man who succeeds concentrates his entire being on one purpose as if his life depends on it. Because, in truth, it does. Lincoln lost. Your life will either be the story of drifting or the story of determination, and that choice begins with setting a definite aim. Lincoln lost. I want you to imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. If you keep moving it around, nothing happens. But if you hold it steady on one spot, the rays of the sun gather into a burning point, and soon that point becomes fire. Your mind works exactly the same way. Focus it on too many things, and your energy scatters. Hold it steady on one clear purpose, and you ignite a power that can burn through every obstacle. Now, some people will say, but what if I choose the wrong goal? Lincoln lost. What if I fail? Let me tell you something, you'll fail 100 times if you don't choose at all. You don't need to have every detail figured out right now. What you need is a starting point, a target to aim for. A definite purpose doesn't mean you can never adjust. It simply gives you a direction. A man walking in the wrong direction can turn around, but a man standing still, waiting for the perfect answer, never moves at all. The moment you set a definite purpose, you separate yourself from 95% of the world. Most people wander through life reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. But when you decide what you want, you begin to command life instead of being commanded by it. You stop being a passenger and take control of the wheel, and that decision alone will change you. Lincoln lost. It will change how you walk, you talk, how you think, and how people respond to you. Confidence begins the moment you know where you're going. Lincoln lost. So ask yourself now, what is the one thing you want so badly that you are willing to devote your mind, your time, and your energy to it? Lincoln lost. What goal is so strong that it makes you jump out of bed in the morning with excitement, that makes you push through the days when you feel tired? Lincoln lost. That keeps you awake at night not because of worry, but because of anticipation. If you can answer that, you have the seed of success in your hand. And if you hold on to that seed, Lincoln lost. Nurture it and refuse to let it go. Life will eventually give the thing you need to make it grow. Decide now and decide firmly, because until you do, nothing else matters. Lincoln lost. But once you do, everything else will fall into place. There is one quality that separates those who try and give up from those who keep going until they win. And that is a burning desire. Not just wishing for success, not just hoping things will work out, but a desire so strong that it consumes your thoughts, drives your actions. Lincoln lost and refuses to let you quit. Ordinary people work when they feel like it. Extraordinary people work because they are driven by something deeper. Lincoln lost. That burning desire turns average effort into extraordinary power because it gives you energy when everyone else is tired, courage when everyone else is afraid, and persistence when everyone else walks away. A man with a weak desire will always find an excuse, but a man with a burning desire will always find a way. Lincoln lost. When you truly want something, you stop asking, can I do this? And you start asking, how do I do this? Your mind shifts from doubt to determination. Lincoln lost, and that shift changes everything. Desire feeds the imagination. It forces your brain to think of solutions, to connect ideas, to notice opportunities that other people overlook. Lincoln Lost, the stronger your desire, the sharper your mind becomes because it's always searching for the next move. And the moment you commit fully, life itself seems to bind in your favor. Lincoln Lost, not because of luck, but because you refuse to let go. Think of anyone who has achieved great success. They were not the smartest, they were not the strongest. Lincoln Lost, and they certainly were not the luckiest. But they had one thing most people don't have: the hunger to win no matter how long it takes. Lincoln Lost. That hunger gave him the strength to keep going after failure, to get back up when others stayed down, to work late nights when others went home. Lincoln Lost people stop because they feel tired, but the man with a burning desire barely notices fatigue. He works through it because his mind is fixed on the reward, not the struggle. Lincoln Lost, desire has a way of turning obstacles into fuel. When you want something badly enough, even rejection becomes motivation. Every failure becomes a lesson. Lincoln Lost. Every setback that becomes a test, and you welcome it because you know that nothing can stop you if you keep moving. Lincoln Lost. A man who is lukewarm about his goals will crumble at the first sign of resistance, but a man who is obsessed with his purpose will push harder when things get tough. Lincoln Lost. He doesn't see difficulty as a reason to quit. He sees it as proof that he's on the right path, because anything worthwhile demands a fight. Now, Lincoln Lost, you might be wondering how to develop this burning desire. It begins by choosing a goal that excites you. Lincoln Lost. Something that matters to you so deeply that you can't imagine living without it. When your goal is big enough to stir your emotions, it becomes part of who you are. Lincoln Lost, think about it day and night. Picture it in your mind so vividly that it feels real even before it happens. The more you imagine it, the more you believe it's possible. And the more you believe, the harder you will work for it. Desire grows every time you feed it with focus, with action, and with the belief that you deserve to have what you want. Lincoln Lost, there will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the path seems too long, when people around you tell you to give up. But those moments are the very reason you need desire. It is the fire that keeps you moving when logic says to stop, when fear tells you to turn back, when comfort tries to pull you away. Without that fire, you will fall like everyone else. With it, you will endure what they can't endure, and that endurance will take you to places they will never reach. Lincoln Lost. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. And you don't need permission from anyone to chase what you want. Lincoln Lost. All you need is a burning desire that refuses to die. Because when you want something strongly enough, you will either find a way or create one. Lincoln Lost. That fire inside you is the greatest strategy for success, and once you light it, nothing and no one can put it out. Nothing in this world moves until you move. You can dream all day, plan all you want, read every book, and talk about success for years, but until you take action, nothing happens. Success does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to movement. And not just occasional effort, not just when you feel motivated, but relentless, consistent action that builds its own power over time. Action is the great equalizer. You don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the most talented, but if you are willing to keep moving forward when others stop, you will eventually win. The greatest mistake most people make is waiting for the perfect moment. They wait for more knowledge, more resources, more confidence. And in that waiting, they waste the only thing that truly creates success: momentum. Momentum is built through action, and once it begins, it becomes a force that carries you further than you ever imagined. At first, moving forward feels hard. You have to push against resistance. You have to discipline yourself to do things you don't feel like doing. And you might even feel like you're getting nowhere. But something incredible happens when you keep going. Each small action builds on the last, and what once felt impossible begins to feel natural. Think of a train starting from a dead stop. It takes an enormous amount of energy to get those wheels turning. But once it's moving, even the strongest barrier can't stop it. That is what relentless action does for you. At first, it feels slow, even frustrating, but if you keep pushing, your momentum will carry you through obstacles that used to seem impossible to overcome. And the best part is this momentum creates confidence. Every small victory builds your belief in yourself, and that belief pushes you to take even more action. It becomes a cycle of success. Too many people quit because they don't see immediate results. They take a few steps, face a setback, and decide it's not working. But here's the truth. Every step you take is planting a seed. Even if you can't see the growth yet, every call you make, every hour you work, every time you push yourself forward is adding to your momentum. Most people stop just before that momentum takes over. They don't realize that the breakthrough usually comes right after the hardest struggle. And relentless action doesn't mean reckless action. It means doing something every single day that moves you closer to your goal, no matter how small it seems. Even on the days when you're tired, even on the days when you feel uninspired, you take one step. That one step keeps the momentum alive, and as long as you keep it alive, victory is inevitable. There will be times when you feel like nothing is working, times when you question whether all the effort is worth it. But understand this, every great success story was built in those exact moments. The winners kept going when they had every reason to stop. The losers stopped when they had every reason to keep going. The difference between the two was not talent, not luck, but the willingness to keep moving no matter what. If you want victory, you cannot afford to stop. You cannot afford to wait for motivation to strike. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The moment you start moving, even if you feel unsure, you begin to build the energy you need to keep going. And the longer you keep moving, the harder it becomes to stop, because momentum begins to work for you instead of against you. Take this to heart. One step every day, no matter how small, will take you further than 1,000 plans left undone. Success is not built in one giant leap. It is built in thousands of small steps taken without stopping. Keep moving, keep pushing, keep acting, because relentless action creates the momentum that guarantees victory, and nothing can stop a man who refuses to stop himself. No man becomes truly successful by standing alone. The greatest victories in history were never achieved by a single mind working in isolation. They were born from the power of many minds working together in harmony. When you surround yourself with people who share your vision, who challenge you to think bigger, who push you to keep going when you feel like quitting, you unlock a power far greater than anything you could create on your own. This is the secret of the Mastermind Alliance, an invisible force created when two or more people work together with a common purpose, exchanging ideas, energy, and encouragement until their combined strength multiplies beyond limits. One man can have talent, another can have resources, and another can have experience. But when those minds come together with a shared goal, something extraordinary happens. Ideas spark that you would never have thought of alone. Solutions appear faster. Confidence grows stronger, and progress accelerates because you are no longer relying on only what you know. The mind has a strange way of expanding when it is connected to other minds. One idea from another person could save you months or even years of struggle. And one conversation could open doors you never even knew existed. But a true mastermind alliance is more than just networking or casual friendships. It is a deliberate partnership based on trust, respect, and shared determination. The right alliance will not just agree with you, it will challenge you. It will hold you accountable when you're tempted to slack. It will remind you of your purpose when doubts creep in, and it will push you to aim higher when you start thinking too small. The wrong people drain your energy and feed your fears, but the right people fuel your ambition and strengthen your faith in what is possible. Look at any great achievement, and you will find this principle at work. Every successful business, every groundbreaking invention, every lasting movement was built by people who combined their talents and worked together toward a definite purpose. One person might have had the vision, but it was the combined energy of others that brought it to life. You cannot possibly know everything. You cannot master every skill, but you don't have to. You only need to align yourself with people who complement your strengths, who fill the gaps where you are weak, and who share your relentless desire to succeed. A powerful mastermind alliance does something even more remarkable. It shapes your thinking. Spend enough time with people who are determined, positive, and success-driven, and you begin to think and act like them. You absorb their confidence, their discipline, their creative energy, and slowly you become stronger simply by association. That is why you must choose carefully who you spend your time with. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will begin to complain. If you surround yourself with winners, you will start to think and act like a winner. The truth is, you are influenced by the people around you whether you realize it or not, so choose your company with intention. Seek out those who believe in growth, who refuse to settle, who see obstacles as challenges instead of excuses. Share your ideas with them, listen to theirs, and watch how your own thinking expands. Every great mind needs other great minds to sharpen it, just as iron sharpens iron. And here is the most powerful part. When you join forces with others who share your vision, you create a power that cannot be stopped because it is no longer just your energy at work. It is the combined force of every mind in the alliance focused on the same goal. That united focus is a force greater than money, greater than talent, greater than luck. It is the kind of power that moves mountains and turns impossible dreams into reality. You can work hard alone, and you may go far, but with the right mastermind alliance, you will go farther faster and with greater certainty. One mind is strong, but many minds working together with one purpose are unstoppable. Surround yourself with those who lift you higher, and you will soon find that their strength, combined with yours, will carry you to heights you could never reach alone. Let me leave you with this. Success is not a mystery, it is a strategy, and that strategy works for anyone who is willing to live by it. Decide exactly what you want, and let that definite purpose guide every choice you make. Fuel that purpose with a burning desire so strong that quitting never feels like an option. Move forward every single day with relentless action, because momentum is the force that turns effort into victory. And never try to climb the mountain alone. Surround yourself with minds that push you higher, because together you can achieve more than you ever could alone. If you live these principles not just once, not just for a week, but every day until they become part of who you are, success will not be a question of if, but only a matter of when.